How do you get in front of the relocation specialist in your market so that you can maximize your profitability and your occupancy, so you do not have to deal with high turnovers or even deal with Airbnb if you don't want to? Okay, there is a certain way of doing things, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can get in front of these relocation specialists or where they're going first. Okay, so I actually had one of my partners reached out to me and said, hey Ruben, where do they go for this? Where did the relocation specialists go? What is the rule of thumb, etc.? Right, I'm actually going to pull up the thread here because in no particular order, and this is very important, it's important for us to understand where they go. Okay, and when I say in no particular order, I've had conversations with these relocation specialists individually and collectively, and I've asked the same question: where do you go to find homeowners who are looking to provide a furnished accommodation? That means it's furnished for 30 days or more, and typically less than 12 months. That's what a midterm rental is. And the reason we throw the word insurance in there is because we are working with corporations who are paying a premium to relocate families for homeowners like us who are either previously Airbnb owners or have been in the corporate housing space, but are just looking to get more occupancy and profitability, because occupancy affects profitability and profitability makes everybody happy. That's not true, but it at least can help solve a lot of your problems and help grow your portfolio and right, etc. Whatever you're here for, I'm here for it, and I want to give you the information. So with that said, what is it exactly that we're talking about here? And we're talking about the people. So the people who will serve us, and they do this for a living. A relocation specialist is the lowest hanging fruit when it comes to finding midterm rental insurance contract, because that's what they do for a living. They literally assign families, like for their day job. They wake up, they drive, they commute, or maybe they do it remotely. And guess what they do for a living? They relocate families at a premium and find homeowners who are able to do so. They have preferred vendors, they have Airbnb operators like us, they have people on Furnished Finder, they have people on Zillow Rental Manager, and I want to go over kind of like where they go first. So I've had conversation with these guys and gals on the phone. I've asked the question that is the most important. I believe that if you ask the level of questions that you ask, or the level of answer and quality of an answer that you get, is based on the quality of the question that you ask. So one question that you can ask is simply, hey, where can I get in front of you? Except you don't ask it that way. You say instead, hey, where do you go to find homeowners like me on a day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis? Where do you go? And here's what they said. All right, ready? So number one, in no particular order. Why is this important? In no particular order, because they've told me that Bobby next door or in the next cubicle can switch up his or her order, and I have my own. So whatever works with me the most is what I'm going to stick to. And we all have this quota to meet, and we're all competitive, but we're all also collaborative. So there's different ways that they operate, and not each company does things the same way. Maybe some company has a policy where they go to X place first and the other place second, or maybe this place third for the other company and it's first for the other. So the reason I say in no particular order is so for you to just optimize for all of the above. Why wouldn't you? It's in your best interest, is it not? Are you not trying to get these lucrative contracts, right? Tens and thousands of dollars per month. Yes, we've gotten that. Hundreds and $1,000s a month per year. We've gotten that on a single property, right? It's doable. It's possible, right? But you need to know where they exist. All right, let's have a look into it. So let's start with number one in no particular order, although this one is probably where you want to start. Their database. What does that mean? What is a database? When I think of database, I think of like IT, like they got all these big databases, like storing it underwater. Is that what they're doing? No, it's simple. You go on their websites, like it could be like a CRS Temporary Housing or Alacrity or ALE Solutions. I mean, there's a bunch. As a matter of fact, what I would do first, if I were you watching this video, I would pause this for a second. I would open up another window and I would say temporary housing solution companies in my area, or relocation companies in my area, or even better, I would use AI and I would say in ChatGPT, hey, provide me a list of the top temporary relocation companies that specialize in insurance claims as well in my area. Area being zip code, area being city, area being state. Go crazy. Pause this video, take a second. What you'll see, a lot of these companies, like the ALE Solutions, I'll give you the biggest one in the nation, ALEsolutions.com, for example. You would go to that header, you would go to the footer, If you're currently getting value from watching this video, you'll want to make sure you take a second and click below to grab the Midterm Rental Insurance Blueprint to help accelerate your process in being able to land these midterm rental insurance contracts with respect to your marketplace. Make sure you click the button below and grab it and continue on with the gems in this video. And enter in your property. You don't even need images. You just enter your property into their database. Why is this important? Because if I'm a relocation specialist, one out of the 5 things that I'm going to tell you is to do just that. I'm going to go into the database. The reason I like it is because these investors have raised their hand, these operators have raised their hand, these managers have raised their hand, these co-hosts have raised their hands, these arbitrage people have raised their hand, these homeowners have raised their hand, and they've said, I am interested in doing business with you because I understand that you have a need and I have a supply, and we do supply and demand and it all comes together. Boom, this price, usually at a premium, meets, and you're able to name your price, right? And when you name your price, you're occupied, and when you're occupied, you're profitable. Hopefully, if you bought the right investment, but I can only help you with that on another video on how you can make the right investment. In this video, we're talking about how to get relocation specialists to finding us. Find them where they can find you, and that is the database. So a database is simply for go to a website that's temporary relocation company, etc., and enter your property or properties in bulk in that website, and do it periodically, because who knows, people have database systems, IT, who knows, maybe they're doing a purge sometimes, maybe they're doing a cleanup. So do it periodically, once a month, once every week, whatever your kids might be. I think once every week is a little excessive, but do it every once a month. Enter it in the databases so you're in there so that they can find you. Got it? Number 2, they reach out to partners in the marketplace like yourself. You don't have to be a preferred partner. So what happens is when you're in a database and they reach out to you once, you do business with them once, then you do business with them twice, then you do this 3 times. What I do is I say, hey, I typically, we like to send emails periodically. We foster a relationship, we give calls. So they'll reach out to you that way. Database first, then before the database, that might just be like, hey, I know this gentleman named Ruben, and or Sally or John or Jocelyn or whoever the case might be, and Jesse and whatever, and they'll call you first because they'll be like, hey, thanks for letting me know, remember we've done business, etc., in this area, I'm in this area again, do you have something available, because I'm looking to relocate another family. So that's just being a partner in the marketplace. That's it. That's what I call it. Just make yourself memorable. Send the flowers, send the cookies, whatever it is that you got to do, so that it's just, now that's just branding 101. You're just protecting the brand so they can keep you top of mind. So when they need something, they just shoot you an email. That's it. So that just comes organically over time. Okay. Or you can reach out and kind of be a LinkedIn creep, etc., and slide in the DMs and all that stuff. Now, I'm going to let you, for those of you who are salespeople, have great sales tactics, y'all do your thing, but I'm not going to overstep here. It's about building relationships. However you choose to do that, there's multiple videos on YouTube on you can be a great salesperson if you choose to do so. But if you're watching this, I get the sense that you kind of want to just push button. You're giving me push button vibes, right? Sit back and relax. So that will happen organically once you put your properties into a database. Number 3, preferred partners. Now, preferred partners is honestly another fancy word for VIP partners. It doesn't really change anything. I've gotten a lot of contracts without being a preferred partner. If you want to become a preferred partner, by any means, power to you. But they have preferred partners that they go to, right? We don't know what the scope of that is. We don't know how often that is, but they will do that. They'll be like, we have preferred vendor lists. Go and contact this person. This is what we're saying here is when they need to relocate a company, these are the places they're going. They look into their databases. They reach out to people they already know. They go to preferred partners. That's number 3. Number 4, Zillow Rental Manager. Zillow Rental Manager is the back end. Zillow is the front end. Let me say that one more time. Zillow is the front end where they type in for rent for X amount of months, for X amount of days, right? Typically it's a month. What type of property, what type of zip code, what type of area, enter. Front end. On your back end, you're going to want to list, you want to go to Zillow Rental Manager and enter your properties there so that they can see it on the front end. Back end, front end. Makes sense? Back end, front end, right? Very important that you handle everything on the back end so that they can run it on the front end. Okay? So Zillow. Then, last but not least, this is what gets people irked up. This is what gets people hyped up. This is what gets people confused. Airbnb. Yes, they still go on Airbnb. As a matter of fact, there is an option that is Airbnb for work, where a relocation specialist or someone on behalf of the company will book a booking on behalf of the customer. And once the booking is done, the customer will then show up. That's Airbnb for work. It's important, right? It's really important that you actually make sure that you make yourself available on those platforms, because if you just list it like a traditional Airbnb or VRBO or whatever the case might be, any online travel agent, they're just, when they do the filter of the search and they need a month and you're doing it and you're operating it like an Airbnb, they're not going to be found. But if you are not operating like an Airbnb, just set a 30-day minimum. That's it. Be there. They look there and you want to show up there because they'll do a filter of 30 days plus and you want to be sure that you show up there. So those are the areas that they're looking. So you want to be, this is like not hide and go seek. Like if you want to be sought at the right place. So when we ask the question, how do I get in front of relocation specialists in my market? You go where they go. And those are the places they go in no particular order. So it is your best interest to be at all of the above in no particular order, right? I mean, go with the lowest hanging fruit. Go into the databases that don't require you to have any pictures. And then start cranking and get to the other ones. Again, recap. You look into their database, so you want to be in their database with respect to the name of the company. There's a bunch of different companies. Make sure you look them up. Reach out to become a partner. You just want to be remembered. So when there is that first interaction, even if you don't have something for them, be like, hey, by the way, is it okay if I periodically reach out? By the way, is it okay, etc. If I send you a few emails, email campaigns, all that. You can use MailChimp, build a relationship, be remembered. And I actually have some videos on here that you can check out on my channel on how to build a relationship with a relocation specialist. But number 3, preferred partners. If you want to become a preferred partner, then you go to preferred partner. That's up to you. And the way to do that, you just ask them, how do we become a preferred partner? You'd be surprised by just asking. Or by default, you will become a preferred partner, whether you have the badge or not, right? That's like the joke, right? Are you a super host or you're a host, right? You're still getting bookings, you're a host, but you got the extra badge, you're a super host, you're still a host, okay? So whether you're a preferred partner or a partner, become a partner. So those are number 2 and 3 are one and the same. Number 4, be on Zillow. You go to Zillow. That's like one of the largest search engines for rentals. So go to Zillow, be on Zillow. Don't not be on Zillow. Be on Zillow if you want to be found in your marketplace, right? Then the OTAs. OTAs is just a word for online travel agents like VRBO, Expedia, VRBO, etc. The biggest one, Airbnb. Just start with the Airbnb. Okay, lowest hanging fruit. Get your listings up. Get them 30-day minimum. Get them on there, maybe 14-day minimum if you want. Whatever the case might be, just get there so you can actually show up where they're looking, because they're looking there too, right? And none of these are exclusive. None of these are in order. Just do all of the above and you will rise above. All right. But that said, if you got some value, make sure you grab the Midterm Rental Insurance Blueprint. There's a lot of gems there for you to be able to take these actionable steps so that you can start making these profitable and landing some profitable contracts while helping a good cause, always helping another family, helping a corporation, and being highly compensated for doing so. If you got value from this video, make sure you click my next video called Things You Need to Know About Relocation Specialists.